Say it again. Some will say too far. Half awake, fading the heart. Behind these.
Hey, good day, folks. So, being back in Manila, we wandered back down to the Intramuros area. And in doing so, we wandered around a bit and just looking for some sites to see. Intramuros has been a work in progress with regards to restoring the area over the years. Matter of fact, my wife remembers from when she was younger in the 60s and early 70s, there wasn't a lot to see down there. Just a lot of things that needed to be reconstructed, especially after World War II. But in the 80s and 90s and even present day, there's been a lot of activity down here in terms of restoring some of the architecture that was here from dating back as far as the Spanish. So come on along and we'll take a look at some of these sites. So a little while back, we did a video on Fort Santiago. Now, Fort Santiago, just as a refresh, is a portion of what's contained inside the Intramuros wall area. Now, keep in mind, this was an original Spanish colony that was built way back when in the 1700s, and over the years has seen various reconstruction efforts gone on, particularly after World War II, where the Intramuros area was all but devastated from all the bombing and fighting that took place in Manila between the Japanese and Americans, ultimately with the expulsion of the Japanese in the end of World War II. But a lot of rebuilding has gone on post-World War II, and in present day, as we said, it's currently a work in progress. One of the really neat spots to come visit here as you're walking through the streets is a location called Casa Manila, which is House of Manila. And it's a recreation of an 1850s San Nicolas house that once was located in that region on one of those streets. And it was built during the Marcos administration, and again in the 1980s, reconstructed to replicate a house that was standing in that area. And it's a great example of Spanish influence in Philippine culture. Matter of fact, when my wife and I were wandering through there, we were so impressed by all the furniture, the artifacts, the architecture, everything in there that we honestly thought it was a real home that had been on that location. It wasn't until we got to the kitchen that we realized that there was no ventilation for the stove area. It was a fireplace, essentially. There was nowhere for the smoke to go. And we kind of looked around and realized, hey, this is a recreation. And, of course, we got a chance to talk to some folks about it, too. But it is a beautiful bit of architecture. And if you like that kind of thing, it's definitely worth your time to go check out. So not too far from Casa Manila is the St. Augustine Church. Now, this is one of the oldest churches. There's about four of them that exist in Luzon, but this is one of the four original churches that was built back in the Spanish era. And it's been here a really long time. Matter of fact, my wife remembers as a little girl attending Mass here back in the 60s. Condition It serves as a multifunction area in addition to being a church. There's a monastery there and a really nice little museum that will take you around here to take a look at. But keep in mind, this is one of the structures that actually survived World War II. Though part of it was destroyed from the bombing, the main structure itself was still left intact despite all the combat was going on in Manila during the retaking of Manila. So it survives and is flourishing to this day and conducting mass as we speak.
All the scenes here. These are 18th century works. Pretty impressive. I don't know if these are reproductions or I'm not really sure, but it says down here that they're crown. This looks like a tabernacle. Oh. That's a depiction of a crypt of Christ after the crucifixion. Wow. And this is St. Vincent Ferrer. And this is on the second floor of San Agustin Church. And these artifacts. Now this story on this church is that this survived. This is the oldest church in the Philippines, and it actually survived World War II. It got demolished and they rebuilt it, but the structure overall was still left standing. This is the interior courtyard. And much like a lot of older Spanish traditional style homes, you've got an interior space here with the big breezeways, and then of course the open courtyards here. So this is the big square courtyard. So it's a place for the monks to come, the Augustinian monks to come and meditate. And right next door over here, you see the tower with the bell in there is the church. Well, we'll take a look at that in a minute or two. But this is what I'll call the monastery next door to the church. So the Japanese, apparently, according to the placards, the Japanese didn't destroy this facility because they used this as their army headquarters when they occupied in 1942. Then, of course, they were kicked out in 45 when the Americans recaptured the Philippines. But a good portion of the structure stayed.
Well, folks, that's it for today. So as we head on back home, we bid you all a mabuhay and having a great day. And as always, if you like and enjoy the content, please go ahead and click that old like button and feel free to subscribe if you'd like. But with that said, bye for now.